This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.
Rob, what's good, homie?
What's going on, man? What are you fighting with people on Twitter right now?
I'm always fighting with people on Twitter. There's a lot of dopes on there.
Yo, you're off the rails this year, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for yo. If you guys don't follow Mike on Twitter, it's nonstop entertainment. No, really, like it. I'm bored of work sometimes, yo. It's great. Fighting on Twitter,
you might bring up Twitter in the middle of the day. You might see me arguing with 100 different teachers. You might see me serving memes to the bowling world about patch pirates. My patch pirate memes have been hitting lately. I got to say, dude. I'm coming hard at the patch pirates, and you know I have a new target out there too. If people have noticed, YouTube ball reviewers.
Oh, is that your new thing? Was that your 2023 New Year's resolution?
Come at the YouTube ball reviewers.
Dude,
sorry, Jeff.
Anyway, so yeah, man, things are good, dude. We'll talk. We'll get in the league review. Hopefully, it looks like to me you're still fighting with people on Twitter, but Mike, what am
I took a pause from the fighting on Twitter to come here and chop it up with the people.
So, did you get to bowl this week?
I did not. I haven't bowled league in like 3 weeks. I'm kind of thinking like I'm retired. I'm semi-retired. No, I'm
Only
not.
One of us could be semi-retired.
I'm not. So 3 weeks ago we didn't bowl because it was Christmas week and everybody opted not to bowl, even though I have off that week and it's like my favorite week to bowl throughout the year. Okay. And 2 weeks ago, I had COVID, so I didn't go. I wasn't feeling real well. I was still recovering from COVID. COVID finally got me. I'm still not feeling 100%, to be honest with you. It's like I feel like I know that's what people have been saying. I mean, I feel good, but I don't feel 100% for sure.
No, you won't for a few weeks.
And then last week, my daughter had a chorus performance at school. So obviously that takes precedent over bowling league. But I've been getting reports from my people there. And, we've been getting 20, 21 people every week. And that's without me showing up and without a couple other regular guys showing up that I'm aware of. So that's encouraging anyway, that we're getting those kind of numbers even without some of our regulars showing up. So
imagine if you actually promoted it.
Yeah, I mean, I do promote it locally. Like I go on all the local Facebook pages, bowling Facebook pages, and post it, and try and get word out as much as possible. I'll be honest with you, I'm off the chain in 23, so I'm going to say this: there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of haters in the bowling community. Rob, you know how it is. There's a lot of the bowling community is a small community, so everybody kind
of. What's their hate about your league?
Well. I don't even know. I don't even say. Well, okay. Since you asked, I'll answer honestly. I think for some people, it's a personal thing with me. I do. Right. I think some people personally don't like me and won't show up because they don't like me. I do. Really? Yeah, I do like believe that.
I don't believe that for a second, man.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. The second issue, I believe, is the handicap. And the fact that we kind of give the advantage to the handicap bowlers a bit. I don't think you'll find another sport competition that gives 90% handicap and really uses sport averages that are on the lower side for some of these non-sport players. And, listen, I think that a lot of bowlers, they get beat by a handicap player who shoots, let's say, 200 or 210 when they shoot 230 or 240. And I think that fries them out. I really do.
Let me ask you, though. This is just a curious question for me. Are people really going there and being like really competitive? Because if I'm like bowling a like practice sport, like league, I'm really not going there to like make money or, beat everybody. I'm going there to learn and to like practice and actually like see a sport pattern every week and try to get good. So when I do have a legit chance to make some serious money in a tournament, I can do that. Or if I'm just a 150 to 160 or 170 average and I'm an entry level bowler and I've never experienced a sport pattern before, this is a good time for you to go learn it. There's no pressure. If you bowl 350, no one's going to really say or do anything. You leave and then you try to learn from it, right? Are people actually really not going there because handicap bowlers are going to beat them and they're going to take their money? And
yeah, I definitely don't think it's a money thing. I'm not saying it's a money thing. I think it's more of a competitive thing, right? Like I just think that,
dude,
they don't want to lose to somebody that they view
really,
as
losing,
beneath them in
it's
skill.
a practice league. What losing? Who's winning and losing?
No, I'm
Like,
just saying.
I'm just saying, like, why do people look at it like that? Like, oh, like if I go there and I've never bowled in a sport pattern before and I bowl 350, or if I think I'm a 230 average and I'm a patch pirate and I go there, like to me, like that's not patch pirate behavior if you go into a sport league and trying to learn how to bowl, right? And you're actually like trying to get better on a sport pattern.
Well, how
right?
many weeks do you show up? I mean, if you show up 1 week and you quit, that's definitely patch pirate behavior. But if you show up week after week and you stick with it, I would agree with you there. And I listen, I understand. See, here's the funny thing to me, and this is just how I view it. The attitude that you're talking about, okay, I see that attitude more from the lower average players,
of course,
who come out like they're not really concerned about the money. They're not concerned about winning or losing. They're really just there to have the experience, practice, learn a little bit, perhaps get better, right?
Right.
But on the other end, and I understand it. I get it because I'm one of the bowlers that doesn't get a ton of handicap. I'm not getting 30 or 40 pins a game. I think the last week I bowled, I was almost up to 200. I think I'm like 197 at this point. So I think I was getting like 12 pins a game or 13 pins a game, which is definitely on the lower end. And I'm not going to lie, like there's been a couple games where I shot 230 and I look around, I think, oh, I got a shot at the pot. And then I hear, oh no, handicap guy, shot 210 with 50 some pins and I didn't have a sniff. Personally, it doesn't bother me. It's not gonna. It doesn't make me feel any way. It's not gonna stop me from competing, etc. But I definitely think there is that dichotomy there. I would say between the more scratch players and the handicap players. Come on, Rob. What scratch player wants to lose to handicap? Nobody does. No scratch player does. That's one of the big complaints with regular house leagues. Is you can't put a scratch team together because you got to give 350 pins a game and you quote unquote can't win. I don't believe I don't really go for that. I know on the house stuff it's harder to win in that situation because it's more likely that those bowlers are going to put up decent scores. But to be honest with you, on the sports stuff, I feel like even with the high handicap, the better bowlers still have the advantage.
Let me ask you a question, and this is just a suggestion because every Monday nights when I lived in Vegas at the Gold Coast, Chris Hayden used to put out a pattern, and it used to be $10, and it would be on for 2 hours. Okay, there was no scores. They turned the lanes on, they put the pattern out, you paid them the $10, and you had 6 to 8 pairs to bowl across for 2 hours. You can bowl for an hour, you can bowl for 45 minutes. Like, why isn't that more of a thing? Like, especially like what you're doing, right? Like, why wouldn't you just think about putting on, like, I don't know, 10 pairs, forget the scores, forget the pot games. Maybe you have 2 pairs for people who want to bowl pot games, right? And maybe you turn 6 pairs on for people that just want to like bowl without scores? Why is scores such a thing when people practice? And now I'm talking in general.
Because I don't think people like to practice. I think that's a simple answer. I just
some
think
of the best practice sessions that I've had in my life have mostly been 90% I would never put the score on, right?
Oh, me too. But I don't think that's the norm. I think
No.
that most people would much rather bowl even a small competition and call it practice than actually go and practice. Chris Hayden, by the way, drilled me one of my balls I shot 800 with early in my
Dude,
career.
that
Speed
kid,
zone.
he's a great.
Shout to Chris Hayden.
He
Roosevelt
still drills
Lanes.
balls in Vegas. If you
Roosevelt
guys ever,
Lanes.
he still drills stuff out of the Orleans Pro Shop in Vegas.
Good bowler. Made a couple shows and it has a PBA title, I believe. Robert Hamilton in the chat too mentioned he has a PBA title. Yeah, he does. I'm right about that.
Great bowler. The guy was like a machine,
Great lefty.
like a robot.
Yeah, old school. Technically sound,
dude.
Good ball roll, shot maker. You know,
I worked with him when I worked at K&K. I worked with him. He taught me a lot on how to drill and lay out. I used to pick his brain about like bowling equipment and differential and RG, and he taught me a lot because I would just I was like a sponge, like learning all the equipment and how to he taught me that you could almost predict a ball reaction based on the numbers of the ball. So people, I don't know if you know this out there or not, but you can go into your pro shops and if you look at the bowling ball, usually there's like a label on a bowling ball that's on the rack on the display, and it'll tell you an RG number and a differential number. It'll also tell you if it's usually just based on the numbers, if it's a asymmetrical, symmetrical. You could really tell a ball reaction based on just the numbers of a ball. So you could build your equipment arsenal based on numbers. Obviously, you're not going to really know what it does until you throw the ball down the lane. But if you have, a high differential compared to a low differential, the high differential is going to be flaring a lot and the low differential is not. So you know that there's going to be a lot more of a jerky reaction with a higher flaring bowling ball. And this is just stuff you could just get by the numbers. And Chris Hayden taught me a lot of that. There's a lot of knowledge and there's a lot of like ways to know stuff like this just by like researching and reading. So if you guys ever like want to like do more, get more in the technical side of it, it could help you guys games out. I'm just, I went on a little bit of a knowledge share there for a second.
But back to the question about score. I mean, Rob, I think especially when you have bowlers who are bowling on the sports stuff, I would argue that having the score up is kind of important because they want to see, they want to measure themselves in this new environment of bowling. And how do we measure ourselves as bowlers? By the score, right? So yeah, I just think that there's not a lot of people out there that want to bowl in any environment really without keeping score.
I'm going to bring up David Tolson's comment because I was going to bring this up and he's 100% correct on this. Now, if I go into a Bolero center, to be specific, and I want to practice without score, I can't do it unless maybe I have to ask the front desk person to put the lanes on without the score. Right. Or what I'll do is if I bowl like 5 games, I'll put my name up 5 times. So now I'm just bowling, 5 games essentially.
I do the same. If I have a pair, I put a name on each lane. Right. And this way, like I'm just alternating shots and I'm not really keeping score. Yeah.
But I'm just saying is like some of, like I'm just trying to figure out like, why people are so hung up on scores and like, why would you not go to a good sport like condition and try to learn how to bowl on a harder shot, just because you're getting beat by handicap bowlers. And I feel like maybe if you took the score away, then it might be specifically what it is, like a practice sport league. But I don't know, and I know East Coast people. I love New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. All the East Coast love the bowl pots. They love the bowl for money. It's always been like that. But I don't know. I was just asking why people are so hung up. I feel like that's a good shouts to my guy TQ. Bulls League with me. He's out on the shelf right now.
Let's talk about your league. Let's talk about your league. Well, first tell us how you bowled.
Oh, dude, what a fucking shit show this week was. 205, 203, 201. I left 2 pocket 7-10s, a stone 9 on a fucking triple. And I was literally pulling my hair out of my head. I was I'm only bringing now like 2 balls with me and a spare ball, so I'm not bringing 6, 8 bowling balls with me in league. Okay, um, it's a lot for me there on pair by pair. It's a lot of who's bowling on the pair. It really makes a difference. Yeah, they gave me a nickname, Mike. My new nickname in league now is the Tap King. Because dude, you
Please.
could imagine the shit that I'm like seeing there. Like I started one game, strike, stone 10, strike, stone 10, strike. I'm like, man, what the hell do I got to do here to like throw a double? So anyway, long story short, we won, man. We won 20 points. We're in second place this quarter. We finished second place the first quarter. And I want to talk about my guy Greg who bowls with me. Man, he's been practicing and bowling, and he's been getting so much better. He started the league at like a 150, like 5 average. And now he's like in the like mid like 160s, I believe. But you could just see the difference. And I asked him, and I was like, yo, gee, like, man, you practicing? He's like, yo, I love this game. I love this sport. I love practicing. And he's asked me questions, and I trying to help him out a little bit here and there. Loves drilling bowling balls. And he bowls on a sport tournament every once in a while when he can, and he realizes it. And those are the people you need in the game, Mike. The people that love it, they fall in love with it, and that they're in the 150s and the 160s. And he's really been practicing, and he tells me, he's like, yeah, he's really competitive. He wants to beat everybody, so it motivates him to practice. So he's been kicking ass in that league. I mean, he bowled 220 scratch for like 60 pins.
It's great when you see someone like that.
Oh, I love it.
It's refreshing.
Right.
It's refreshing because you don't come across that often in the high level bowling community. It's mostly curmudgeons and people who have really negative attitudes about the game and whatnot. They're all bitter and jaded and whatnot. So like, it's not. You're right. I agree. It's nice when you come across somebody who really has that passion for the game. Still funny, has it or has discovered it or whatever it might be.
And the great thing about it watching is that it reminds me when I was younger and I started to learn how to hook the ball, because he just learned how to hook the ball like 3 or 4 months ago. So he's finally getting to see all of like what a new bowling ball can do. So, he just drilled this radical ball, and this ball is going all the way down the lane, and it's like hooking like a maniac off the back end. And, it's like a addiction when you start seeing your ball hook, and then you start seeing like, your ball hitting the pocket and striking, and then seeing yourself getting better. And it reminds me when I was younger, and I would tell him, I'd be like, man, I'm an old seasoned veteran, bro. Like I'm over the game. You're just getting into it. I wish I was mentally like where you are right now in the game. Like I'm just sick of this shit. You know what I mean? I'm sick of all the bullshit that bowling has when I bowl. But anyway, so yeah, we won, which is the important part. My average will stay around 215 to 216. And yeah, I'm gonna just keep grinding in that bowling center.
All right, let's talk about something tables. More interesting than your actual league bowling. So Jacob Buttress sent out a tweet, right, on Tuesday night when you bowl, and his tweet basically said that he had to he shows up 3 hours before league to make sure that his team gets a table, right? So I tagged you in the tweet and asked you, yo, is this the same league you're in? Because we all know he bowls the same league that you do on Tuesday, so I figured it was the same. And you came back and said, yes, it is. And it's Bolero, so my mind is never really blown when there's something ridiculous going on there. But I mean, it's pretty ridiculous that you can't get a table. People are really showing up 3 hours before league to get a table. It's that serious.
Listen, I didn't know this was a thing, and I finally put 2 and 2 together when, like I was talking about the guy who bowls on my team, Greg G. He would text us on a group text and be like, "All right, yo, I got a table," and I'd be like, "All right, cool." He'd give us the pair number, and then I get there and I put my jacket on, and then we bowl, and I didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden, we weren't getting a table, and then we were sitting in the settee area, and then I didn't think anything of it. And then I realized that there are people getting there early to get tables because there isn't enough tables, obviously, for teams. It's a filled up. It's there's whatever there is 36, 40.
So what
lanes.
is there? Is there like one table for each pair?
Not even, because there's about a 6-pair radius that doesn't even have a table in the back. So people have to either sit on like bar stools, or the couches on the lanes, which nobody wants to sit on those couches.
Okay, let me
especially when you're
ask
a 5-man team.
Your guy TQ in the chat is saying he gets there 2 hours early. TQ, I gotta ask, what the hell do you do for 2 hours before league, son? Do you just sit at the table? I have so many questions about this. Do you just sit at the table for the whole 2 hours? And
they get food.
And if you don't sit at the table for the whole 2 hours, is it a code break if you reserve the table in some way? Like, is there some way to let everyone, like in Philly, when it snowed and you lived on a street that had no parking, okay, you shoveled out your parking spot, and then if you pulled your car out, you would put a chair in that parking spot, okay, and a lawn chair, and everybody knew, do not move that lawn chair, son, because you move that lawn chair, and there's going to be a felony taking place, okay? So my question there is there a way to reserve the table? Like, exactly, Robert Hamilton, you put a reserve sign on it, and then you can leave and come back? Or is it just complete savagery where it's every man for himself? You got to grab the table. You got to literally lay across the table for the 2 hours to let everybody know. Yeah. You got to sit with your feet spread out, legs spread out on both sides of the chairs so everybody knows. What's the deal here? Break it down.
TQ responds, he writes, I might go get tacos next door. We have to put our bay or fan down on a table and they won't touch it.
Oh, okay. Bay. What's a bay?
There's a legit taco place next door I haven't been to yet, but
all right.
They keep talking.
Okay, all right. So you could show up 2 hours early. You could put the ball, the fan, a jacket or two on the table maybe, and that kind of stakes it as your. Well, you know what I do? I would go in on my way to work or something, or my lunch, hours ahead, and just put something on the table, and then come in 10 minutes before league and be like, "Yo, I had this table reserved. What are you doing? Get your shit off here."
I didn't. But the funny thing is, I didn't even know this was a thing until I saw it. And I knew a little bit before that, but then when Jacob put that tweet out, I'm like, man, there's teams out there struggling too to get tables. And then my response was, they're charging $16 for a chicken quesadilla. You'd think Bolero would have enough tables.
Get some tables. I mean, it's kind of like a quintessential piece of league bowling. You need a table, especially for a 5-man league. Folks, this is a 5-man league they bowling. So if you ain't got a table, you're just up Schitt's Creek for 3 hours.
I'm sitting on the couch, up everyone's ass.
That's wild.
Up everyone's ass.
This is totally unacceptable to me. I got to be honest with you. I'm a big delegator of the tables in the bowling thing. When I coached high school, oh my God, I was a lunatic. I was a lunatic. Let me come in to one of our high school competitions, and we're all lane 30, and let me see that the team is because a lot of the places where we bowled, there'd be one table in the settee and one table up top, right? No one wanted to be at the table up top because then you got to go up the stairs, you got to climb, you go up top. But let me come in and see somebody took our table. Oh no, I would literally tell my players, just move their stuff to their table. This is our lane. This is our table.
But let me say something on this: is Bolero? You would think as a business, they would want every 5 people on a team to have a table because guess where you make your money in leagues? You make your money on drinks and food. Bolero, you guys, you want to talk dummies? Boleros, they're dumbasses. Because just coming from personal experience, if I get there and I'm hungry, Mike, you think I want to eat a chicken quesadilla on the couch?
No.
In there? No.
No. You think I want to eat my chicken fingers and fries standing up?
No.
I want to put them on the front desk and eat them? No. Absolutely not. This is a great point. This goes for almost any Bolero, TQ. The house floor is always dirty. Absolutely, it is. It is. It is. That's another reason they said. So I have one more question here about the tables. I have one more question. This is an important question to me because, if I was in this league, there's a chance I'd get into a fight over the table situation. So how do I want to ask this? I'm imagining that some of the lanes have a table right behind them. Am I imagining? You sent out a picture, so I kind of have a visual of what it looks like.
Correct.
So here's my question. What's fair game as far as taking a table that's not behind your actual lane that you're bowling on? Like, are there teams that they have a table that's 4 lanes away from where they're actually bowling?
No.
Is that fair game? Or that's
No.
not fair game?
No, I think that's an unwritten rule in a weird way.
Okay.
It's got to be
All
at
right.
least in a 2-pair radius.
Oh, two-pair radius. That's a huge radius.
I think so.
I'll be honest. The way I look at it is you either got the table behind your lane or you got no table, son.
No, if someone gets there
wild.
early.
Oh my God, I would definitely be having words with people in this league. If somebody came behind my lane and took my table and tried to reserve my table behind the lane that I'm bowling on, I would not respect that reservation of that
people
table.
moving the tables to go closer to their pair. That's what's happening.
What?
Yeah,
they pick it up and move it?
Yo, this is a wild table.
No, son, no way. We would be having a tug of war over the table, dog.
But yo, if you get there early enough, you don't even know they moved it.
Oh no, because I'd know the regular setup.
Yeah, but the regular setup is weird because, like I said, there's like 4 or 5 pairs.
Oh my God,
tables behind them.
You guys would hate me if I bowled this league. Oh
now, if you bowled on my team, we'd be at a table.
Yeah, you're right. If you bowled on my team, you would love me because we'd always have a table. They'd be like, "Listen, just give that lunatic a table. All right, we don't need trouble. We don't need anything started here." Your boy says he takes a table from 10 lanes over. TQ, I got to call you out on that, bro. That's wild. That's wild behavior. To me, that's like moving somebody's chair in Philly when it snows and they did their parking spot. Okay? I'm just saying.
Nobody can say shit to our team. Nobody say shit to our team. Trust me.
Oh, my God. Now, there were a couple suggestions here that I like. You guys should do this. A couple people said this. I forget who else mentioned it up top. You should start bringing in your own damn table.
That's not a good idea, Mike. I'll tell you why.
Why? Go to Costco, get one of the nice little 10-foot, 6-foot folding tables. They have a handle on them and everything. You just throw it in the trunk. You forget about it. You bring it out every week. You bring it in.
It's not a good idea.
Why?
Because I get so fried on that place, I'll probably throw someone through the fucking table.
Oh, man.
I might throw myself through the table. Dude,
rough.
If I leave another pocket 710 in that building, I'm going to put myself through the table. Believe me.
This is amazing to me. All right, enough with the tables.
Okay.
You told me off the air that and this is I can't wait for this. I haven't heard this myself. This is the first time I'm hearing it. You told me off air that you got some behind the scenes information on the ravishing Rick Rude, Jacob Buttriff picture being out all over the place. So what's the word on this?
Ladies. And it was a very quick answer. It wasn't a big story. When I asked them, I thought it was going to be a big story that they missed.
How did you phrase the question?
Yo, what's up with your USB-C?
Yo,
what's up with your USB-C, like ravishing Rick Rude?
That's exactly how I would expect you to ask it. Like, yo, so what's up with them sending out ravishing Rick Rude pictures of you on the internet?
And it was during practice because he bowls next to us every week. It was literally during practice, and I yelled out, "Yo, what's up with your Rick Rude photo, man?" I was like, "We're talking about that photo for like weeks on the show."
Oh my goodness!
And he's like, and he like kind of said it like real like, you know, like I didn't realize it, but I guess they like asked him to like show his tattoos. And that's it.
But all right, listen, Jacob Buttriff, he's not listening, but if you happen to listen to this, somebody tag him. Listen, if somebody says, can we get a picture showing your tattoos, son? You don't do this.
Dude,
you don't do this. You give him one of these. You give him the sleeve pulled up with the arm in front, bro.
So I'm pretty sure on Facebook, Ed Smaglick, he called it the folding duck.
That's so good.
Dude,
that's so good.
I was like, dude, that's a perfect.
Oh my God. Then they sent out the ravishing Rick Rude picture, right? Yeah. Then they sent out another picture later in the team trials week where like and no offense to Jacob Buttriff, he probably just bowled an 8-game block or something and was fried. But seriously, my man looked like he climbed out of a dumpster and then went to a sauna and then came out and took the picture. Honestly, it was crazy. So
Rick Rude and Boston Rob smashed the table. Brooklyn Rob, but
oh my goodness,
I'll let it slide, dude. if I bring my own table into Bolero, you could sure as hell bet your ass that someone's going through that table. the way I'm fucking
Yeah.
bowling in that place.
All right. Well, that's our league report for this week. I was gonna go bowl. There's a really interesting event this weekend at Lodi in North Jersey that Doug LaCory is running. He runs the Bowlage webpage.
Yeah,
If you don't
he
check
runs
it
some
out,
good
definitely
events
check it
over
out. It's like an eliminator tournament, and the pattern. I wish I would have brought it up. The pattern for this looks absolutely insane. Like I've never even seen a pattern graph that looks like this pattern graph. I had every intention to go and bowl it, and then yesterday I found out that my daughter has a birthday party on Saturday that I'm going to have to take her to, so I'm not going to be able to go bowl that. I'm probably going to hit the training center this weekend. I might be going to bowl a King of the Hill tomorrow night. There's a little local King of the Hill that's sort of around me, where they've been putting out somewhat non-house shots. Some of the stuff they put out is a little goofy. It's like 15-1 or whatever. But they have been putting out some patterns that are more like 5-1, 4-1. They had 1 week where I think they put out a 3-1 and it didn't go so well, so they kind of reverted back. But I might go bowl that tomorrow night just to go bowl something. I kind of got the itch to bowl. I haven't been able to go and bowl my weekly league thing. So I have a couple things coming up on my calendar that I really want to make it to. I'll be honest though, man. I've just been really busy. Like I haven't been able to bowl much of anything because, my priorities are such that if something comes up for my kids, that automatically comes before bowling. I mean, I'm not making money bowling, I'm not, doing it for even a part-time living. So yeah, like almost anything that comes up takes precedence over going to a bowling tournament. But yeah, I do want to get out there and play, man. I'll be honest. I haven't thrown it this good in quite a few league seasons. I mean, I'm throwing it good right now. I'm bowling good. I'm putting up some numbers. I'm consistent. I'm making spares. Like I'm bowling well. So I got to get out and compete a little bit. But I don't know if this weekend's going to be the weekend. So all right, Rob, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to move on. We got something for the people tonight. We got something we think the people are going to like, even though it's sort of a sad reminder of where we're at in the bowling world. So. If you are a regular listener to this pod and have been for a while, you know that one of the things that drives me insane about bowling, and Rob too, I think to a certain degree, and maybe not as much as me, is that we can't bet on bowling. Okay, we can occasionally bet on bowling, but the way in which we can bet on bowling is extremely limited. All right, and this drives me nuts because you can bet on like the craziest shit. All right. You can bet on Chinese league basketball games, Russian hockey league games, tennis tournaments in Germany. You can bet on these things, but you can't bet on bowling. Okay. You can't really bet on bowling. All right. And this drives me crazy because I like to bet. I like to gamble. I gamble on football almost every week. I love to gamble in a casino, play cards, etc., as many bowlers do. Bowlers kind of have that gambling vibe for the most part, right? I think most people would agree with that. So what Rob and I wanted to do this week is we wanted to pretend, okay? Sadly, I know, sadly, it's hypothetical, but we wanted to pretend as if we really could bet on bowling. All right. What if we could bet on bowling the same way that you could bet on football, golf, baseball, okay? And Rob and I wanted to come up with our own list, each individual list of future bets for the PBA this season. Okay, futures bets for the PBA this season. I listen to a lot of sports podcasts, and almost every sports podcast before the season, whether it's NBA, MLB, NFL. The guys who do these podcasts, they always do their futures bets. Wins, over, under, MVP, who's going to win the championship, etc. Right? This is one of the biggest ways that people like to bet before the season starts. So Rob and I tonight are going to do the same thing with bowling. All right, we gave each other a $10,000 budget. Okay, $10,000 budget here. All right, is what we're working with, and we were allowed to create any bets we wanted. All right, just like you would be able to for any other sport. All right. So we're going to go back and forth, and we're going to give you some of what would be our futures bets. Okay, $10,000 worth of bets for each of us. Okay, Lucas Wiseman in the chat. What's up, bro? Saying we need to hit the casino, bro. You say the word, bro. Let's go. Anytime you want. AC, come out to Jers. Come out to Jers for the Players Championship. Come to our tailgate, okay? And then me and you, and I'll probably have a few others, we'll hit AC. All right, we'll go to AC. We'll do it right. We'll hit Borgata or Oceans. You want to go to the club and get a table, pop bottles with your boy? We could do that too. Let's get it. I'm all about it, bro. I was supposed to go to AC last Saturday. Actually, I had tickets to a major DJ named Jonathan Peters from New York City, and yeah, I didn't get to go because I wasn't feeling all that well with COVID. So I'm extremely disappointed. But I gave the wife a rain check on that, so I'll be down there soon enough. All right, Rob, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. You want me to start or you want to start?
No, I don't know because we have good. We're gonna have different bets, but probably
We
some of the same categories. We'll definitely have different odds.
All right.
We
Let's
set our own odds too.
so you kind of want to go categories there?
No, because I have a lot different categories that you're not.
Okay. All right. So we'll just go. I'll throw out a bet. You'll throw out a bet.
Sure. And then
okay. People in the chat, let us know. Let us know what you think of our bets. Let us know what your bets might be.
And
who would you be betting on for futures bets for the PBA?
And I made odds too to my bets.
I see Lucas Wiseman saying he would take AJ Johnson to win his first title.
That's funny. That's one of my bets.
Okay.
One of my bets. Sorry, let's start.
I have that too. I have AJ Johnson to win a title. I said I would put AJ Johnson 500 to win a title.
What odds do you have?
I didn't think of odds. I didn't think of odds here. I think you get pretty good odds on that though.
I have plus 1,000.
Ooh, I was gonna say plus 800. I think plus, I think we're right in that ballpark there though.
Yeah, I was gonna put $1,000 on AJ Johnson to win a title at plus 1,000.
Okay.
Title.
All right, let's see. I'll give another one of my bets. Sure. This is my biggest bet. This is my biggest dollar amount bet. Okay, $2,000 on Simonson to win Player of the Year this year.
How much?
2,000.
Yeah, I'd say if I was going to give those odds, I would say probably around like plus 300.
2,000 to win Player of the Year. Okay, I would definitely put that in.
I have EJ Tackett winning Player of the Year, 1,500.
1,500. All right.
I think would be about plus 800.
No way. Are you crazy? Plus 800. He would be the same or less than Simo. I mean, he's already won a Player of the Year. Simo hasn't.
I would put him better odds than Simo. I'd put him at like plus 400, 500.
Mike Flanagan, weigh in here. What about you say plus 350 for Simo? How about EJ Tackett?
And what's
EJ Tackett? Tackett plus 450. All right, okay. Yeah. Mike, I got to be honest. I disagree with you. Tackett's won a Player of the Year before. Simo hasn't.
Yeah.
How can Tackett have worse odds when he's already done it?
I don't know. I think
okay.
So, my next bet, I put 30. My biggest bet, I put 3,500 on Belmo to win a major at minus 150.
What was it?
Belmo to win a major.
How much?
Minus 150. I put
no. What's your amount?
3,500.
Ooh, wow, that's a big bet, bro.
Who's gonna win a major?
That's a big bet. That's a big bet. I'll be honest. I don't think you would get minus odds on that.
Maybe.
I think you might get even money.
Maybe.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be right around even.
This is a good point. This is a fair point. Andrew Anderson should have lower odds because he's won before. Yeah, okay. Fair point. I hear you there, Mike. I hear you. Okay. All right. I got a few major bets here if you want to talk majors. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have $1,000 major parlay. Okay. I love the parlays. I can't stay away from the parlay. I'm an addict when it comes to the parlays. Okay. My first major parlay, $1,000, Simo and Belmo to win a major.
I mean, you think I don't think you would get great odds for that parlay.
You don't think so?
No,
Oh,
I
I
would
don't
get
know.
like
I mean,
probably get like what, like plus
plus.
500,
Oh, you think it would be that much? Oh my God, that's really high. I was going to
350.
say plus 300. You
You're
know,
right, 350.
plus
Yeah.
300. I'm thinking 3-1 on the two-way parlay. I got two more major parlays for you. Three-way parlays. I got three-way major parlays here. Okay,
Union parlays,
same
man.
for first leg for two legs are the same. $500 major parlay. Simo, Belmo, Prather. Okay, Simo, Belmo, Prather.
You're gonna get at least probably that's me.
I'm
You're gonna
getting
get
at
over
least
plus
8-1 on that.
750. You're gonna get
I'm getting
7 plus 750.
at least 7-8-1
Yeah,
on that, no
yeah,
doubt. Okay.
yeah.
All right, but Mike, how about Mike
I
Flanagan?
agree
How
with
about
that.
the parlay though? Are you
Well,
saying the
Belmont just
parlay would be plus 250?
Mike writes even money to win a major, Simon plus 250 to win a major. Yeah, I agree with that. I think those are fair.
Okay. All right, another major parlay. Again, $500 three-leg major parlay. Simo, Belmo, Dom Barrett.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I'm thinking maybe 7-1 on that, 6-1 on that, perhaps.
Better than Prather. I would put better than Prather.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Give us a couple bets. I'm hogging everything here.
I'm going to put 1,500 on the Lumberjacks to win again.
Ooh.
On the league.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I have them
Okay.
at like plus 150. Like they're going to be right around even money.
All right. I like that.
Here's my I see you like parlays. I love long shots. I love myself putting a nice long shot.
I'll give you a couple long shots I got. Go ahead.
Mine. I'm gonna put $500 that a pro converts to 7-10 split.
Ooh, I love it. The odds on that are gonna be so sick, bro.
500.
The odds would be so sick on that. Oh my goodness.
So what do you think of those odds though? Plus 7,500, or you think it'll be higher than that?
It might even be higher than that.
Might be.
It might be higher than that.
Might be.
Honestly. Okay. You want me to go? You switching over to me here?
No, I gotta. You have more serious than my next ones are gonna be like hilarious. Stuff that's gonna happen. I'll give you one. I'm gonna put $1,000 that Rash gets fined on TV this year.
Ooh.
Plus 100.
No, the odds would be more than that, I think. Come on.
Oh no, that's a sure as shit bet you could ever imagine.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't even know that might be outside the bounds of even hypothetical betting. I'm not sure that any major book operation is going to let you bet on who gets suspended.
Fine, not suspended.
Oh my goodness, that's great. That is great. All right,
go ahead.
I'll give you two bets that I looked at here as kind of safe bets. Like I wanted to put in a couple bets where I knew I wasn't going to get great odds on the bet, but I look at them as, I'll be really surprised if I don't win those bets. So I'm looking at these two bets as, all right, I'm definitely recouping some money here. I'm getting something back. I'm not losing the whole 10 grand. One of those bets would be $1,000 on Belmo to be high average for the season. Okay.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get less than even odds on that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
200, 150.
Yeah, I was gonna say minus 150. Minus 150.
Yeah, Lucas has Rash being minus 150 on the time. I could agree with that.
And I also have, to me, this is such a no-brainer. $1,000 on Belmo over 0.5 titles. Okay, so basically $1,000 that Belmo will win at least one title.
And you're not going to get good enough odds to put $1,000 on that.
I might be minus 250, minus 300 on that.
I think it's going to be more than that.
Okay, so like I said, I'm just looking at it like I'm cashing those tickets though. Those tickets are cashing. I don't, regardless of the odds, I'm cashing those tickets at the end of this.
All right, go ahead. I'm going to put $100 that a pro climbs the 18-man step ladder. Plus 15,000.
It's like that on fire, son. Like that $100 on fire, dog.
$100. I'm throwing it out there, man. That what pro climbs the 18-man step ladder. I'm also going to put $500 that a bowling ball gets banned by the PBA USBC this year.
Okay.
And then at my last bet, plus 350 that Bill blocks you on Twitter sometime this year.
You're getting bad odds on that too.
No, my odds are even money on that.
Okay.
That's even money. Bill blocks you on Twitter.
No doubt.
Those are my bets.
Okay, I got a few more here.
Wait,
I got a few
Kevin
more.
got a good one. I like this question. Kevin Weeks, man, always good to see him in chat. What are the odds on Belmo not winning a title? I'd say that's probably my opinion. Plus 200, 250, 150. I think you're going to be right around. You're going to get better than even money on that.
Okay.
Dude, Lucas has the USBC minus 150, bringing out the black curtain. Oh, I think that's good. I think you got better than that, minus 500. That black curtain is sure as hell making that appearance this year. That's for sure.
Ooh, I like this bet. I like this bet from Mike Flanagan. AJ Johnson to finish in the top 3 in points.
AJ's got big expectations for AJ this
year.
Right?
I hope AJ Johnson doesn't listen to this podcast, because if he does, he's going to be squeezing like hell, because we're putting all kinds of heat on my man right here.
Yeah.
All right. I got more bets. Here.
Jim Ward, any odds on a first-time rookie makes a show?
All right. I got some rookie bets. I got $1,000. I got $1,000 on Santu to win Rookie of the Year. Okay, it's a no-brainer bet to me.
Money.
No-brainer bet to me. I also have 500 on Santu to win a title. Santu's going to win a title this year. He's going to win a title. Yeah, he's going to win a title, and he's going to be Rookie of the Year. I think that those are two pretty solid bets. All right, I got a couple more for you here. Here's one of my favorites, and I say this all the time, that I wish we could bet this show to show, but I would bet it as a future too. I would bet $500 that there's going to be over 7 single pins missed in all of the finals for the season.
Single pins.
Over 7 single pins missed in all of the now, that would include, like, anytime there's a show, anytime that there's that if somebody misses a single pin, it counts. Okay. Was Santu Rookie of the Year last year?
No, I don't think so.
Was he?
I don't know.
I don't know that either.
Last year?
I thought it was Matt Russo. Or was that 2 years ago? Forgive me if he was.
Luke, I'll take
okay. All right. He was. Okay. Lucas confirming. All right. So the other guy that I had on there, and again, I don't know if it's kind of hard to tell who's a rookie, who's not. How does Santu not qualify as a rookie? He bowled like 2 events last year. That was it.
I don't even know.
I would take.
Nico's upset. Nico's pissed at you, man.
Oh,
you didn't know that.
Oh my goodness. I would take Anthony Nair. Give me Anthony Nair for Rookie of the Year then.
Is he qualified? I don't even know these days.
See, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Honestly, the Rookie of the Year award now it's a tough award. I don't know. Like, you don't just. I don't even know who rookies are. Like, what is it? How many times do you have to bowl and?
Right. What are the qualifications for even being eligible for that award?
Under on 300s, Flanagan. This includes any PBA event on television. 2.5. I'm gonna take the under on that.
I would definitely take the under on that.
That's
no question. Tim Sorrell saying Kevin McCune for Rookie of the Year, but again, how could Kevin McCune be a rookie this year? He bowled more than Santu did last year.
Hold on. Here's my favorite bet. Kevin Hebert. We got plus 600 that Chad Murphy and Jeff Riggles throw hands this year. Riggles is plus 150 in the fight. Chad is minus 130. I'll agree with the plus 600 on if they actually fight.
We're off the rails. The rails.
I don't know about those odds, man. Riggles got a lot of hate for Chad. I think Riggles actually should be the favorite to win that fight. But yeah.
All right. So again, $500 on there being over 7 missed single pins in all the finals for the year. I also have a few more here. I got $500 on Simo over 2.5 titles. Okay. I think Simo will win 3 titles or more this year.
I'm going to take the under on that.
Okay, I got 500 on AJ Johnson to win a title, as we
Yeah, we have
discussed
that.
earlier. I got 500 on Brad Miller to win a title. I got 500 on Maldonado to win a title, Sean Maldonado, and I got 500 on Sam Cooley to win a title.
Tim's got the Matt Sanders to win a tournament. That's got to be like big odds on that.
I'll pass on that one, Tim. I mean,
Plus-
unless we're putting in like a $50 bet for the odds.
Yeah, there's going to be big odds on that. But I mean, yeah. I mean, there's going to be some interesting there's a lot of bowling this year. So
That's an interesting bet left that Mike Flanagan has. Lefty to win a major plus 300.
Jesper, that would be
I would
my,
take that. I would definitely throw some dough on that if you're going to give me plus 300 for a lefty. You know, I think the lefties are going to get something in one of the majors. You know, people are saying Nate Stubler for Rookie of the Year. Okay.
What about Bill? What do you put odds on Bill winning a title?
They wouldn't be that high.
You're already in his shit house too.
They wouldn't be that high. I mean, the guy, he's a Hall of Famer. Like you made a big deal last week about me putting him in the journeyman category, but if you actually listen to the people I put in that category, they're some of the best of the best. So
I might win that Twitter bet this week if he tells me more shit.
Perhaps.
If I'm gonna give Bill odds on winning a title, I think me personally, I think like plus 350 is probably fair odds for him to win a title this year.
Okay. Oh, how about this? Oh, this would be a great bet. I can't believe I didn't think of this. Your thing doesn't win a title. I think it would be more Robert Hamilton. I think it would be way higher odds than plus 300 though.
You know what the problem is here's the bowling strategy in me is unless it's a lefty, by usually the last game in a stepladder format, the urethane is decent out of play by that time, unless it's a lefty or a two-hander, which is most of everybody these days. So,
see, now this will get Mike Flanagan blocked. This is Mike Flanagan, not Big Mike. Bill O'Neill over under 3.5 5.7s this year on tour since he's switching to 14 pounds.
Maybe are you guys gonna have stats, Mike, while you guys are doing broadcasts, like so we could like
keep track of that
if that bet wins or not at the end of the year?
You know. So listen, it was a little fun little exercise. It makes me a little melancholy. I'm not going to lie, because I really do win. I don't have $10,000. I can tell you that to bet on bowling, but I wish I could bet futures with $1,000. I would definitely throw 1,000 in some futures and cut everything by 10% here that I have on this list. But alas, we can't. There is no real betting on bowling. Don't understand why. We've had discussions about the reasons here before. We've gone through it, and it's unfortunate. I hope that at some point in the future, we're able to do this. We're able to bet on bowling in this way.
So here's a funny question, because Mike writes about he could have said 5-7-10s. What would the odds on a 5-7-10 being left at any time during a PBA national tournament, on and off the show? Has a 5-7-10 ever been left on a nationally televised PBA show? I know Barnes did it. Didn't Barnes do it at like a world event?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Was that the Weber Cup?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's hilarious though to talk about me getting blocked on Twitter. I think that's my favorite bet.
Man, I wish we could bet on bowling. Damn it.
Anyway, dude, I know you saw my tweet to Tom Clark that caused a whole bunch of controversy today, or shit talking with other people about new lane patterns for the PBA, because he did bring up that there's a new PBA pattern that's getting used at the PBA Collegiate Championship. And I asked him, and I was curious if they were working on new patterns. And his response was, well, they're working on tweaking there's some wrinkles in some current patterns, as well as a new Amleto Monticelli pattern that they're going to be using at the PBA 50. So
the answer is no.
Well, that wasn't the answer we were looking for.
Short of it.
We were looking for hey, like we're going to be revamping most of the, if not all of the patterns, right? or we're going to be releasing a
No,
whole
I
bunch
don't.
of new creative patterns?
Yeah, I don't need revamping of the old patterns. The old patterns are fine. I don't have a big problem with any of the old patterns, I don't think. I just want to see new. I want to see different. I want to see more variety. I want to see them put something out on the lane where you ain't using urethane. Period. Done. I mean, I want to see things like that. I want to see the bowlers be challenged by some of the lane conditions. I want to see transition that is not the norm of what we see. Okay, I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that even for me, and I love to watch, even for me, it gets a little boring at times, especially watching the qualifying, the match play, because they kind of all develop the same way. I mean, I know guys are out there doing different things, different hand positions, different speeds, different launch angles, different balls, different layouts, but to the viewer who's not getting a lot of that intricate information, a lot of it looks the same. You start here, you start up 10 with urethane, between 5 and 10 with urethane, then you move to the middle of the lane with something a little more aggressive, and then a few games later, you're in the left gutter using something shiny that hooks it down the lane.
So I guess my question, and I would throw this out to people more knowledgeable in this area than me. How much is that of the lane patterns? How much is that of the actual lane surface that is going on in the bowling centers these days?
I mean, I understand that that's a part of it, but here would be my counter to that. Well, why does it seem that what I said is also the case even when they go to this place or that place or that place or this place?
Because there's a lot of old centers that have a lot of old lane
Okay.
surfaces.
All right. So then, but listen, get somebody in the lane condition department that really knows what they're doing to combat that. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem that hard to me.
I've argued this point with you every time you bring this up. They're not going to change something if they don't think it's broke.
I hear you.
You think it's broke, and yeah, I can
No,
agree
I
with
don't
most of
necessarily
your
think it's
points.
broke. I just think that there needs to be more variety, more challenge for the
Well, you know
level
what
of players that are out there.
So here's my argument, and not argument. I'm not defending like the PBA, but I would imagine creating new lane patterns and doing all that is going to cost them money to do. So it comes down to money, right? So I mean, think about it. If you wanted to
Would it
develop
though?
5 new
Because
patterns,
if they contacted some people in the bowling community that do that, and said, "Hey,
Peggle?
well,
Peggle
not
you don't think
not
Peggle's going to
necessarily
charge
a
them?
company, but an individual perhaps. I know there's a few individuals out there that are into designing lane patterns. Like Nick Hoagland's name comes to mind. Greg
Ooh,
Tack's name comes
they
to
don't want
mind.
Nick Hoagland designing
But
patterns for the PBA.
that's what I'm saying. Why not go to two guys like that and say, "Hey, listen, we want to give you the opportunity to design a pattern for one of our events. Let's see what you come up with."
Well, they do for USBC for the majors. Hoagland's probably developing those US Open and Master patterns.
Okay,
So
fair
that's my
enough. And
argument.
I will say, if there's any event over the last 5 years or so that you see some different stuff going on at, it's the
Masters
U.S. Open.
and the Masters.
And Masters
Masters
to
has
me,
gotten harder.
it's always similar. It's always similar. It's always like a multi-angle pattern, that you can play from
Well,
various parts of the
you're trying
lane.
to keep it fair, I think. You know what I
And I
mean?
agree with that. I agree with that for the Masters.
So
The U.S. Open, you've really seen some drastic variety, I would say, not only year to year, but also pattern to pattern that they've done throughout the last few years.
wow,
But
Tim May brings up a good point. If Nick, they'd all be lofting over the gutter after 6 games. Not going to
yeah,
disagree with that either.
I understand why you're saying that, because I know that I've heard that about some of his patterns, especially at the college level. But Tim, what if they went to somebody like that and said, "We don't want that to be the case"? What if they went to somebody like that and said, "No, we're looking for a pattern that's going to keep guys playing in this portion of the lane for a longer amount of time, and maybe that portion is 10 to 15." Can he design a pattern that would make that happen? That's part of my point.
So I guess what you're saying is the PBA should, because what you're saying is that the PBA should ask them or whoever it is, that they want more people staying right of like whatever, right of 5, right. But that, in my opinion, is going to cause a lot of shit. And also on the fact where
Why?
because you're catering to a certain style.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then doesn't every other tournament cater to a certain style?
No, it's a
And
fair
how come
argument
that's not a problem?
because
That's what I'm saying.
because
I want to see some
they
stuff
love
out there that is
two-handed.
going to cater
They
to other
love rev rate
styles.
because rev rates and
I hear you.
two-handed
I
are
hear you.
entertaining.
But that's bullshit. That's not a good enough answer for me, to
Oh,
be
hey,
honest
look,
with you.
don't get me wrong. I would love to see a pattern where it would force all the pros to play the 1, 2, 3 board. When was the last time you saw that?
For an extended block, right?
Dude, we used to roll in those patterns for college. One of the my second year was in Grand Rapids at Spectrum Lanes. Dude, we had the great look off the 1, 2, 3 board. And you had to know how to play there. That's a skill. Not a lot of people know how to play that part of the area these days. Because the patterns, they don't, dictate to play the 1, 2, 3 board.
Right.
I
Or
guarantee
how about a pattern that forces the players to slow down a lot? How about a pattern that forces them to speed up a lot? I'm just saying. I'm just giving examples. That's all.
Anyway, I figured we'd get into that a little bit, but
all right. Do we want to get into Rickle's story? Actually,
we could go quick.
there's 2 stories because he just sent me one through, and somebody posted it in our chat here, and he sent it to me through Twitter. But we'll do the Purple Hammer one first. The story that will not die. The story that will not die.
It died on my end.
Okay? I know it's dead on my end too. I told Jeff on Twitter I felt like this was a non-story, but basically I think, and I believe that I'm explaining things correctly here. There was a rule change in the hardness. Okay, it was 72D. Now it's 73D for manufactured balls. Okay. Many of these manufacturers were producing balls at 72D, okay, based on the old rule. Now the new rule, I think they had to be phased out by the end of July of last year, this past July, and any balls that they were going to continue to manufacture that had previously been manufactured at 72D had to be resubmitted for approval at 73D. Okay. Now, at first, it seemed like the Purple Hammer was the only one that was going through this recertification process. But as it turns out, Storm has some balls that they're putting through the recertification process too. I was told behind the scenes that the reason that the Purple Hammer was the only ball that Brunswick submitted to be recertified was because all the other balls that they were producing at 72D, they're no longer producing. They're discontinued at this point. The Purple Hammer is the only one. So they resubmitted it. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't see what the big hullabaloo is about all this. It seems pretty standard to me. Seems like a non-story. I will, it'll be another interesting bet. How many titles does the Purple Hammer win this year? I'm confident that it's still going to be the best tool out there for these guys, whether it's 73D, 72D, whatever it is. So, that was the story there. Any comments on that, Rob?
No, let's move on to the next story.
Okay. The next story that Jeff published, and I believe he just dropped this a few minutes ago.
Has somebody do my stock price?
It does. You're making money on this story, actually. That
build, y'all.
Bolero founder and CEO Tom Shannon sells 5% plus of his stock, which jumps the price to $14.27 per share.
I'm checking my Ameritrade account right now to see what's good. What's up? What's good? What's good, Bolero? Putting some money in my pocket.
Okay. I'm not a financial guy.
Look at the money I'm making on this stock. I bought this bad boy at $9 a share, man. I'm
rolling in the dough.
So much money because there's no tables, and they're saving money on tables. They're saving money on cleaning their floors. They just save money, Mike, and which puts more money into my pocket with the stock.
I mean, do you have any insight into what this means? I don't. I'll be honest. Like,
Oh, that he sold
I'm not a
5%.
stock guy. Yeah, that he sold
That
off this 5% of stock, or
From what I understand, from what I know, and about business and stocks, which I know nothing, that when a CEO sells stock, it's not a good thing. So,
no.
I mean, why would it be? But it does. I don't know why the price would go up. Could anybody answer that? If a CEO of the company sells 5% of their shares, why does that raise the stock price? That's what confusing me. Because you would think that would people would get like nervous that why is the CEO selling 5%? I don't know, Mike. I'm not a business stock guy, like I said.
Well, Jeff
Um,
says in his article here, a financial analyst told him that Bowlero's filing enables founders and early investors to sell more than 205 million shares and shouldn't worry retail investors. There's a quote here. It's impossible to tell what they may do, but they have to file that to be able to sell, said the analyst, who agreed to comment so long as they weren't named. They likely won't dump all that stock because it would crush the share price, but they have
right.
to file. They have to file to have the flexibility to sell any. So it sounds like what you're saying is generally right. That it's not a good thing that the owner and some of
No,
the
it's
early
never.
investors are selling off their stock. Let's see.
Well, you know
I'll
what I
also
know that?
point this out. The bigger news and again, this is from Jeff's article. I want to give him credit. The bigger news for investors likely was that Bolero, the owner of the PBA and the world's largest bowling center chain, on Monday said its revenue for the second quarter of fiscal year 2023 exceeded $1 billion on a trailing 12-month basis.
Well, that's probably why the stock went up, honestly. I
Okay.
mean, that drives the stock when they hit budget or they hit goals, revenue goals, or whatever it is. That what makes the stock price go up. But I know for a fact when the CEOs or people who own a majority of shares sell shares, it's big news because you'll see like Elon Musk, like when he sold Tesla, or when Bezos sells Amazon, it's like national news. And and then the prices go down because people get scared and they sell. Look, like I said, this is a bowling podcast. This is not financially, like, this is just me, like, reading about stuff. So if you guys want
I need to
financial
get my
advice,
guy Joe Aballo on here. I
yeah,
need to get
you
my
do.
guy Joe Aballo on here. I need to get the financial whiz in here
So Lucas
and
will
let us
come
know what
down
it
and
means.
take the 1.7 million he made and bet on PBA futures.
Probably
Maybe
not.
he'll take some of that 1.7 million and put tables in his Bolero centers
Yeah,
so I can eat his
billion dollar
money.
company can't afford tables.
They
Nice
can't. They
job.
can't afford more tables. I was hoping Bolero and in their Twitter account would like respond, but that's just expecting way too much from them.
All right, Rob. Let's give the people what they want.
All right, Mike, you want me to go or you to go?
Oh, I have so many options here. I don't even know what to do. So go ahead. You go.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen. This got sent to me. I'm not gonna take credit. Congrats to Richard Very of Motive Nation. Speaking of tattoos,
Oh, my God. Oh,
Mike,
these patch pirates, son.
I'm gonna
These
explain it to
patch
my people
pirates, son.
who are listening in their cars right now driving. My guy here has a Motive logo tattoo on his bicep, and it's a big Motive tattoo.
Oh,
And his comment is, "Let's see that Motive commitment. Here is mine, a Motive tattoo." But Mike, this could be worse. This could be a worse tattoo.
how?
This could have been a tattoo of the logo of Big Bowling.
Yeah, that's about the only way it could have been worse. Oh, maybe deviate. Get a deviate tattoo.
I mean, no, Deviate at least is still
Oh,
going.
oh my goodness.
A
These
Big
patch
Bowling
pirates are
tattoo
too
would be
much,
even
bro.
worse.
Subway was giving away free subs for life if you got a tattoo of Subway. What are these bowling companies doing for these people that are getting these tattoos?
Wait, if you get a Subway tattoo, you get free Subway for life?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, they were running that. Yeah.
If I was homeless, I would be like saving all my money that I get from panhandling and then getting a Subway tattoo and never starving ever again.
Fair enough.
We think that's photoshopped. I don't think that's photoshopped. I got a question in there. I mean, it could be.
This is a great comment. Andrew says, I bet Spangler will still deny his staff application. Oh, that's great. I love it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, jeez. It's ridiculous.
Dude,
All right.
Johnny P,
What's
man,
up,
always
Johnny?
it's my guy. I hope Storm offers him a contract tomorrow that pays $75K annually. Yo, he'll be taking some of that money and lasering that motive off himself. I mean, you would get a Storm tattoo, right? I mean, eventually you're just gonna end up having to get like 8 or 9 brands all over your body, right? Like,
it's ridiculous. Oh, there's so many options here. Can I do 2?
Sure. Is one of them from Pinterest? Because I noticed those are usually the best ones.
Oh, you mean Reddit? Reddit?
Yeah, Reddit.
No. I did. I'll be honest. I did screenshot one from Reddit this week about glow bowling, about midnight bowling, but it didn't make the cut. It did make the cut. It was a good one, but it did make the cut. All right. This is gonna be I am gonna absolutely shock people with who I'm gonna give worst of the week to this week. I thought about this for a while too, because this is coming at the big dogs. Okay, this is coming at the big dogs. I'm giving worst of the week to Belmo.
Okay.
All right.
Belmo,
congratulations, dog. You won worst of the week. I think this is his first worst of the week win.
You're not gonna call him a patch pirate, are you?
Oh no! I mean, come on, that's ridiculous.
I'm just kidding.
Earlier this week, Belmo sent out a story on his Instagram where he was promoting a YouTube ball reviewer.
Yeah.
Okay. And it wasn't just any YouTube ball reviewer. I'm going to read you his post. Okay. Pay attention. There's a picture of the person's page. There's a link to the YouTube. Okay. So he put a link up. This is like Oprah. Okay. Putting the link up. All right. He says, so cool to see new YouTubers doing ball reviews, especially husband and wife combos. No, it's not, son. No, it's not. It's not cool at all. It's not cool at all to see new people doing YouTube ball reviews. There's enough of that nonsense. And it really ain't cool that it's a husband and wife combo, because that's the last freaking place I'm going to get a ball review.
What if it's Chris Barnes and Linda Barnes?
All right, that might be more acceptable. That might be more acceptable, but I assure you it's not. Then he says, do them a favor. Watch the review on the new Storm Products Revenant. And if you like it, follow them. Son, Belmo, worst of the week, dog. Okay? Worst of the week. All right?
Dude, Lucas in the chat, when are we going to see a sweep to rack ball review?
Here's the problem with that, Lucas. What are we going to go out and pay our own money to drill all these duds? Okay, because the companies ain't going to send us balls. You want to know why, Hoss? Because they know over here, if it's a dud, we're going to call it a dud right out in front of them. Right out in front of them. Okay,
no.
And that's why a lot of these YouTube ball reviewers are so dopey and so disingenuous, because no matter what ball they throw down the lane, they're bowling on something easy that makes it look great. And they, oh, it's great. Oh, yeah, it compares to this or that. I have never heard one of these YouTube ball reviewers say, you know what, this ball is doo-doo, and it ain't even making the cut to get in my bag. Okay? So
the best thing you can do is just make the ball like you look. I know I have skin in the game here because he's my brother, but my brother Jeff makes really good ball review videos because he just keeps it informative. He doesn't. It's not an opinion piece. It's not a I think this stinks. I think this is good. He just gives.
He's also not sponsored.
He's not sponsored.
Yeah.
He gives his opinion on the bowling ball. He gives and doesn't give opinion on his ball. He's informative. He says what the stats are, the numbers are, what it did for him on the lanes, but he won't say if it's good or not. If I was doing the ball review, I would be like you, Mike. This stinks. Guess what? I use a Nova. That ball stinks, Mike. That ball is one of the worst storm balls made in 10 years. But that's my opinion. That
If I
doesn't
did
mean
ball reviews, I would also do them on sport conditions.
right.
And
Sure.
you're going to see, if you do a ball review on sport conditions, you're going to see that the ball don't mean all that much.
But
I
here's
mean,
the
it
thing,
means a little bit in
yeah.
certain situations. You want to have the right look in your hand, but if you can't get up there and repeat it and execute, the ball ain't going to do it for you, yo.
You know
I
what
mean,
kills
that's
me
the
about
reality of it.
you know what kills me about some of these YouTube ball reviews is that a lot of these people that are doing these ball reviews have such a great role for like house shots because they probably that's what they've bowled on, that the ball reaction looks so much better than if you were to bowl somewhere where I would bowling in like Bolero Mesa, where there's a ton of oil in the middle of the lane. You flat 10 every other shot. It makes the ball look terrible. But if I was doing a YouTube ball review and I was doing it at a bowling center that has fresh back ends, fresh house shot, I have a really low roll and I could stand left and throw it 3 arrows to the right and make my ball look like it's the greatest ball since, since the greatest bowl ever. It gives the people watching a very bad look on what this bowl actually does for you.
Tim Sorrell's in the chat asking, what about the Todd Adams, Louis Napolis beef? Stick around, Todd. That's going to be my final thought. I'll have some thoughts for you. But speaking of Louis Napolis, that's my other worst of the week. I'm giving Louis Napolis the worst of the week, too. I'm giving it to Belmo. I'm giving it to Louis Napolis. It's probably the only time Louis Napolis and Belmo will be mentioned in the same sentence, hopefully. Billy Cronmiller. Oh, this guy, Louis Napolis, he shot 300 on one of his Patch Pirate ball review videos. Okay. Obviously on a house shot, right? So this guy, Billy Cronmiller, comes on and comments on his YouTube video, and Billy Cronmiller says, I would love to see a comparison video between the Zen and the Black Widow Ghost. Always great content. Okay, so the guy's just making a suggestion. He compliments him on the content, okay? And this is how this Patch Pirate fraud responds to this guy giving him a compliment on his comment. This Patch Pirate fraud says, that won't be happening since I'm on global staff. I mean, honestly, bro, get over Louis Napolis, get over yourself, son. Get over yourself. Okay? I'm on global 900 staff. You ain't on shit, son. Okay? Not deservingly anyway. All right? So check the attitude at the door, okay? Enough. Worst of the week. Give the people what they want, Rob.
Dude, this 2023 Mike is on a mission to sink these Patch Pirates.
I'm out here sinking ships, dog. That's what I'm trying to do. All right, final thoughts. Here's my final thought.
Go for it.
Tim Sorrells brought it up. There was a video I put out on Twitter, or YouTube actually suggested it to me because it knows I love the Patch Pirate beef. And it was a video of, Patch Pirate extraordinaire, Louis Napolis, and this guy, Todd Adams. And they were having an argument, okay? And basically, the guy, Todd Adams, was, and I don't know either of these people, okay, for full disclosure, but the guy, Todd Adams, and I got some background here because
I know Luis. DM me. I like Luis.
I had some people DM me and give me the details on this, so I have a little background here. So the guy, Todd Adams, he was basically he had an issue with Louis Napolis, right? It was clear that he had an issue, and the issue was that Louis is sponsored by Bowler's Mart. Okay, he has some sort of sponsorship arrangement with Bowler's Mart, but he doesn't get his stuff drilled at the local Bowler's Mart pro shop that Todd Adams operates. Okay. Now, I was told in my DMs that there was some issues between these two, that Louis brought some equipment to Bowler's Mart that Todd runs, and that Todd drilled his balls, and Lewis's claim was that he messed them up, that he didn't get them right. The pitches were wrong, the spans were wrong, etc. At the same time, somebody else hit me up and said, well, another layer to this story is that Louis Napolis's former his ball driller used to work for Bowlers Mart, but recently left Bowlers Mart and went to another local pro shop out in that area, right? And he kind of followed him. Here's my thought, and I said this on Twitter. It's total dog shit if you are sponsored in any way by a company and you don't rep or support that company. Okay? If you're not going to rep or support the company, then give up your sponsorship. Tell them you'd rather not be sponsored by them.
But
People were hitting me back saying, "Well, he only gets money if they click on the link and they buy a ball." I don't care. In some way, he is sponsored. He has an affiliation with Bowlers Mart. He is directing people on his page to go to Bowlers Mart. But you don't go to Bowlers Mart yourself? What kind of shit is that? If I'm Bowlers Mart, I drop my man like a 5-pound sack of potatoes. Okay? Because how dare you take a sponsorship from our company and then not use our company or not patronize our company? I mean, that is just wild. That's wild to me. I couldn't even believe that people were defending it on Twitter. It was crazy to me.
So I don't know if this is a fair comparison, but like Michael Jordan's got sponsorship by McDonald's. You think Michael Jordan was eating in McDonald's?
No. Well, actually, yes, he probably did. If he ate fast food, he probably ate McDonald's. Yeah. I'm sure that there was something in his deal where he had to show up at a McDonald's from time to time, or, be seen with a McDonald's product or whatever it is. I mean, and honestly, Rob, I think that that's a shitty analogy. I do, because.
But that's what you're saying. If
but the reason I say it's a shit is because you're putting these fraud ass patch pirates in the same category as Michael Jordan. Okay, one of the goats.
That's a comparison because, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I could see it on Luis's through his eyes too. Maybe he had a problem with the ball drillers there, but you still want to like make money, or you still want to like. I'm not saying like what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying I could see the other side of it though too. Bowlers are very picky on who drills their stuff and who touches their stuff.
So then just get rid of this guy. And you know what makes it worse to me?
Are we really comparing patch pirates to Michael Jordan? No, we're not. It's just I'm using it.
Yes, he is, Lucas. Yes, he is.
All I'm saying is I could see it through his eyes too.
I can't.
Dude, bowlers are very picky and specific on who touches their stuff.
So then don't take the sponsorship from the place you don't have faith in.
But why
don't promote a place that you don't have faith in?
I'll take the money. If they're gonna put the link on you and you're gonna get paid on it, then whatever. Who cares where he gets his stuff drilled? This is a big story. I couldn't care two shits.
Yeah, no, I don't care either. I mean, I even find it ridiculous that a patch pirate would say, "Oh, the pitches are off or the spans are off."
That's a whole nother topic.
Discussion. I know, like it's ridiculous, but nonetheless, and somebody else was hitting me in the DM saying, "Oh, well, this guy Todd Adams, he used to drill balls on tour," and I'm thinking, well, how bad can the guy be then? Like if he worked on the truck on the PBA tour, how bad could he be?
No, he's not going to be bad if he's on. Trust me, the players aren't going to have that.
Yeah, from what I know, the guys on the PBA truck are like the best of the best.
They have to be because they can't afford to miss a line.
So I don't know. I'm just saying that's.
Could you imagine like
this week driving me crazy?
Yo, could you imagine how nervous a ball driller would be like drilling P. Weber stuff on the truck?
Yeah.
Yo, if you think he gets angry at people in the audience, I can't imagine if you miss the line when you're drilling his ball. What he was.
Or how about drilling Norm Duke's stuff?
Oh,
and you just know that he can feel even if it's off by like a fraction of an inch.
No, I'm sure he probably drills his own stuff. I would imagine, Norm. Right? I mean, if you're that picky and you're that like specific on. I don't think anybody could ever. I want that ball driller. Whoever drills Norm Duke's stuff, That's who I want my stuff to get drilled by. And if Norm Duke drills his own stuff, I want Norm Duke to drill my stuff.
All right, Rob, we're going to wrap it up. Robert Hamilton wants to know if we have any picks for this weekend's games. I do.
Yeah, anybody but the Giants.
Gambling this year. But here's what I like. I like San Francisco to absolutely I even forget who they're playing. Who are they playing?
The Niners?
Yeah, who are the Niners playing this weekend?
I
can't even remember.
It's not the Jags, is it?
How can I? No. How can I not remember?
Jaguars are AFC.
Oh my God. Well, whoever the Niners are playing, I think they're
know.
gonna absolutely run them off the field. So I like the Niners minus whatever points. I think that's the blowout game of the weekend. I also like the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, Seattle. They're playing Seattle. Okay. I also like the Minnesota Vikings to take care of business. A lot of people are picking the Giants in that game. I think a lot of the money's going to be on the Giants in that game, but I got to be honest. I like the Vikings to come out and take care of business. I like the Bengals too, Jimmy. I like the Bengals a lot. They've been playing really good ball as of late. I will probably have them in a couple parlays as well.
Hey, I'll give you guys the pick of the year.
Okay.
Put the house on the Buffalo Bills. I'm on the record.
There's
no point.
Do you know? I heard a stat today that since they went to the Super Wild Card weekend, right? Like last year, I think was the first year that they had this Super Wild Card weekend. The average margin of victory in those games in this round last year was 17.5. Was the average margin of victory. So that kind of tells you that there's going to be a few blowouts in there, right? And I agree. I agree with you, Rob. Bills could be a blowout game against the Dolphins. Niners could be a blowout game against Seattle. Bengals could be a blowout game as well. Okay,
but the Jags and the Chargers are going to be the close game. And the Vikings Giants, I think, is going to be closer than people are going to think.
No doubt. And so those would be my picks, Robert, if you're interested.
So yeah,
guys, right, it's always fun
going on. Let's
we don't know what our schedule is for the next 2 weeks, folks. We're unsure. We're up in the air. We'll definitely reach out on social media and let everybody know what our schedule's looking like and when we're going to do shows over the next 2 weeks. But we both have some personal stuff going on the next 2 weeks that might prevent us from doing it on our regular Thursday night at 7:00. We might not be able to go live at all. Nonetheless, U.S. Open's coming up, all right, and we're excited for that. We're looking forward to that. Hit us up on social media. As Rob said, I've been on fire on Twitter lately. My name is the 215 on Twitter. Rob is at BrooklynRob11. If you want a rosin bag, if you want a worst of the week rosin bag, hit us up. Let us know. We got plenty of rosin bags. We don't have many raffle spots left. I have the memorabilia right behind me right here. I don't think the people can see it, but it's right behind me. Let me see. Let me show the people. It's right there. It's right there. Okay. If you want the Belmo merch, hit us up. We got a few tickets left. There's not many. All right. We only got a few left to sell. We're doing something good for charity there. Guys, it's always fun. Rob, always enjoy it. Have a great week.
You too. We'll see ya.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.